Hello and welcome to Cash in the Attic. Now then, the couple I'm on my way to meet have lived in the same house for nearly 50 years, so no doubt they've accumulated lots of interesting items for us to have a look at. The big question is, will they want to part with any of it? Coming up on Cash in the Attic, Jonty looks for some hidden gems in our couple's record collection.
Have you got any Ali Jones in there?
No, he wasn't even born then.
You say all the right things, you know that,
yeah.
We discover the secret of staying together for over 60 years.
Do what your wife tells you. You can't lose.
And at auction, a blast from the past exceeds everyone's expectations. That's £110 more than Jonty said.
Isn't that wonderful?
Find out what happens when the hammer falls. Today I'm in Surrey on my way to meet Jack and Francisca, a couple in their 80s, who are hoping to raise some money for an important charity close to their hearts. Jack and Francisca Mower have been happily married since 1947. After she fled her home in Czechoslovakia, Francisca met Jack, and they've been together ever since. Jack worked for BOAC, that's a British Overseas Airways Corporation, for those of us not old enough to remember. And over the years, he and Francisca have become world travellers as well as keen animal lovers. So it's no surprise that Francisca is thinking of donating part of the earnings to an animal shelter. Today I'm joined by expert Jonty Herndon, with over 25 years in antiques and collectibles. He'll help us dig up the treasures that we need to take to auction. Well, while he gets our search underway, I'll go meet our hosts. This is where I find you. Jack, Francisca, lovely to see you.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Fine.
Who have we got here then?
This is Lacey.
We said we don't talk to each other. He's my best friend.
Is he your best friend?
My
This is
very
Lacey.
best
And this is
friend.
Laurel. They're my wife's favourite children.
Oh, they're lovely, aren't they?
Lacey's nearly 9 and this one's 8.
And how old are you two? Am I allowed to ask?
I'm 85, Francisca is 84, and we've been married 63 years.
You've lived here for so many years. You must have acquired so many treasures.
The place is cluttered with treasures. We've been round the world, round the world. I've been round the world 3 times. She's been round it twice. And everywhere we go, she buys stuff, and we are cluttered.
Everywhere you look, there's stuff. How much money are you hoping to raise then?
We don't really have a main set, but if we could raise, say, £300, Frances will probably give a lot of it to her favourite charities. But she told me last night, I think I was half asleep, she wants to start horse riding again at 84.
You want to start horse riding again?
I used to do a lot of horse riding as a youngster.
Well, the good news is that we're not alone. Jonty's here to help us, so shall we get on with the rummage?
Okay.
Come on this way, darling.
Yeah.
Ah, Jonty, what have you found?
Well, I've found actually 3 cigarette cases here. One of them looks like it's to be solid silver, and I'm looking for any kind of markings on these other 2, but I can't see any markings to say that these are silver at all, which probably makes a bit of difference on price. But Jack,
Are these yours?
And this was a present from mother-in-law to father-in-law. I never met him, of course, in 1929.
OK, well, let's have a look at this one here first, because this is the solid silver one. So if we have a look at the decoration on the outside here, we've got this lovely, interesting blue trim that goes on the outside of this one. Now, there's a mark on the inside here that says that this is silver. But have a look at this eyelid. It says Millie, and we've got a date 12th of the 9th, 29.
Who's Millie?
Mother-in-law's name was Emily, but the family always called her Millie.
There's another inscription on the inside of this one as well. I'll take a look at this. And here we have a date of 1914, and this is Thilda.
Hilda was apparently my father-in-law's first girlfriend. Oh. And I don't know how it all happened, but that was my God, 1914.
You've got to get the next one now. There's probably another girlfriend in that one, isn't it?
That'll be Jack's. Now, she must have been a bit of a cheapskate because there's no marks on here that says this is silver. So this one's the much nicer one, this one.
Well, Mama only ever had the best. This is probably what they call, I think in Europe, white white metal?
Well, we all call it white metal.
Oh.
And if they are silver, then it makes a huge difference. So to give you some sense of value, this object here, because it's silver, is worth probably more than these two other items.
So would you include them all together in the auction?
Yes.
How much?
Well, we're looking at about £40 to £60 at auction.
Wow. Were you happy with that?
They're only in the cupboard. My wife doesn't use them.
Great.
Fair enough.
So put those on sale.
We're getting closer to her getting on that horse, you know that, don't you? Come on, let's carry on with the rummage.
This way, guys.
£40 to £60 is a modest amount towards a trip to the stables, so we'd better keep our eyes peeled for more noteworthy items. Francisca's happy for me to nose around the bedroom, where I find a 1970s rhinestone necklace with matching earrings and bracelet. Originally, rhinestones were crystals gathered from the Rhine River, and after coating the underside with metal, they became a perfect imitation for their pricier counterpart, the diamond. Jonty thinks this set will spark some interest if priced at £30 to £50. Now, it's a little early for cocktails, don't you think? Or perhaps Jonty's just rustled up another great find.
I've noticed that not only have you got one cocktail shaker, but there's actually 3 others here. What are you doing with 4 cocktail shakers in your house?
I collected them. I knew a lady in Kingston Market with a stall, and she used to go and buy, you know, when big houses shut up. And every time I asked her if she has a cocktail shaker to keep it for me. And she did.
I wanted to have a look at this one in particular. I'm going to put this one down because this one here, I don't know if you've ever seen, is Mappin & Webb.
Yeah.
Which is very nice indeed, because they were jewellers to
yeah.
the royal family. And they're all silver-plated, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's very nice little stamp to have. And the label, or the stamp, the impression, is upside down here. And it says 1 1/4 pints. Date-wise, they're all roughly the same age, because the age of cocktails are really the 20s, 1930s.
Yeah.
So what's your favourite cocktail? Or have you never used these?
No, and I don't like cocktails, actually. No.
That's the reason why you bought them all.
No. I collect all sorts of things. I'm a bit of a hoarder.
You're a bit of a hoarder, are you?
Yes.
OK. So if you're a bit of a hoarder, can you now let these go?
Well, somebody else can make use of it.
Well, at auction, for the set of 4, we're looking at £40 to £60. You're not shaken or stirred about that?
No, not shaken or stirred. No.
As we continue rummaging at the Mower's home, we haven't a moment to waste if we're going to reach this couple's £300 target. It looks like Jonty's been sent to the doghouse, but he still comes up trumps with this rather large Victorian meat platter. Francisca thinks it's time someone else had a chance to enjoy this Wedgwood beauty. Jonty hopes the collectors will bite with a price of £30 to £50. You're constantly smiling. It's obvious that you're very happy together. How did you meet?
Very briefly, we met through the RAF club in Vienna. Francie had been smuggled into Vienna to her Austrian aunt. I was with the RAF, and Francie came to the club on Valentine's Day, 14th of February 1946, to see if there was any mail. I was waiting for a girlfriend who hadn't turned up, so I took Francie in, and she chased me then till I caught her.
I did chase him, and I did catch him.
It was meant to be, yeah.
Absolutely fate.
And you've had a very happy, busy life together.
Yeah, we have.
What I like about you two as well is you'll get up and go, because you're still travelling all over around the world. You said earlier on that you've been, what, 3 times around the world? You've been twice.
Yeah.
No,
and
but
you
we-
like
we
travelling by
do-
train as well, don't you?
But we do 2 big trips every year.
Yeah, but
the
last,
Far
the
East.
year before last, we flew to Singapore and then took the Orient Express to Bangkok. Now, that is something everybody should do.
That was really a highlight.
Yeah.
And dare I ask, where next?
Well, at the moment, we should be in Australia. We should have gone last Friday, but because of Francis' hearing problem with the cold and my DVC, we've cancelled it, so we won't be going anywhere on our tickets this year.
But he doesn't know it yet. We're going to Los Angeles before the end of the month because the ticket runs out on the 31st of March.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Jack?
People say you've been married 63 years. How do you achieve it? And I say simply do what your wife tells you. You can't lose.